Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Stars in Shadow. I'm going to be totally honest here though, it has been a little bit of a time, probably just under a week since I've played this save file, so I have honestly no idea what I'm doing. So basically, I believe we were in the process of being at war with Orange, and I think we even had a fleet over here in Ptolemy, and I think we had even conquered Ptolemy. If I go in here and I check, you can see here I have the Fiddy. They're a little bit upset with me because I enslaved them, I bombed them, and our nations are at war, and I invaded their planet, all that good stuff. You know, all the usual stuff that comes with Empire. So I also believe that we are constructing many different things in our empire, and I want to just make sure. Okay, all of this looks just fine. I don't think I have any ships that I need to order about, do I? Well, this is a heavy cruiser. I could send that to Ptolemy. I also believe I have another light cruiser that I can send to Ptolemy. And in fact, I actually think somebody mentioned in the comments that I had made a mistake in some of my ship designs, but I'm gonna want to just I think I deleted the offending ship designs that weren't quite useful because now I have the assault cruiser, which can be used for multiple things. I also seem to have the outpost transport, heavy cruiser. All right, looking all good here. Now I do want to just double check what I was researching. I believe I was doing hyperspace beacons, improved solar panels, ion beams, militia, subspace communications. I was doing all the cheap and easy to get techs because it's been a bit of time since I've gotten some new techs. Well, I say that, but I mean like new high level technologies like 0 point energy here. That would take 27 turns. That's a lot of turns. All right, let's go into our next turn here. AI turns ticking over. Our researchers have discovered hyperspace beacons, which means the warp drive range has increased from 2 to 4. So civilian transports have landed on Denebula 3. Let's have a look here at Denebula. That would be this planet here. And I think I landed some new orphan and stuff like that to bring up the population limit. Looking good here. Let me just double check your queue. You're building a market. That seems reasonable. Is that really what I want to build here? What is this planet good for? It has a high fertility actually, so I could grow food here, although I don't need food. But that would mean if I were to grow food in these planets, I could go to, for example, my Gaia planet here and I could kill the farms and instead perhaps stick down another market. Yeah, I'm going to start killing farms around my empire. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say, hey, you know what? You guys should possibly consider getting another market and then finishing the assault cruiser. Oh my goodness. I'll just clear out this queue while I wait for the assault cruiser. So that new planet, but what was it? Denebula 3? Denebula 3. So Denebula 3, oh, I guess the queue wasn't appearing. It was originally going to be 2 markets and 2 labs here, but I think now that I have the availability of 5 slots, I think I could actually grow food here. And I don't think that's a bad idea, so I might go ahead and just change this entirely. To be a food production planet. Sounds good to me, and then that'll mean this planet produces almost entirely just food, which means I'll be able to go through, for example, to my other planets like this. I'll be able to delete this farm and go even deeper into science. Although I do need to check here. I have, how many population does this have? This has 14, and it takes 3 people to staff a lab. So I probably could do with 1 more lab. So I am going to scrap this farm. This will hurt my income slightly, because more of my ships are, not only are more of my ships being used to transport food, less of my food is being sold for cash. And you can see here, surplus food is +8, I believe 3 food. I think it's either 2 or 3 food. It might be 2 food. I think 2 food converts into 1. Oh, it might be 4 food. I can't tell. Basically, excess food turns into cash. So here, that would mean that I could easily I could easily slot in another I could easily slot in another lab here and get even more science out of this place, and perhaps, I think I would keep one market to keep people happy. Not only does it keep it happy, I couldn't actually effectively work another lab. So if I were to build this, and then I'll purchase that to speed it up because I'm specializing my planets and I want to use my resources in intelligent manners. And this planet should actually reach the 5 billion population limit. I can also go in here and start to cut out some of these farms, for example. The population limit on this planet, it has normal minerals, low fertility. It has a warm atmosphere, or sorry, a warm temperature. So I'm thinking, let's see, 2 markets I believe take 4 pop each, which means I couldn't support another market, but I could support another mine. So I'm going to kill the farm. Bam. Then I'm going to build another mine. That'll take 4 turns, which isn't too bad. And then once I've done that, I will go ahead and go back to doing trade. Oh, sorry. Build the mine. I could actually do mining here, but I'll go to trade. I think there has been some transports, and you know what? I'm not going to go through every planet now, but I'm going to be I want to do this every few turns. I want to go in and make sure I'm optimizing my planet layouts and stuff like that to sort of reconfigure my empire slowly over time to be more efficient. I think doing too much change at once would be dangerous to my empire, so I want to do it slowly. Anyway, that was a transport at Denebula, and I also built another transport over here, which wants to go into my trading pool because I don't quite have this maxed out. Construction completed Bay 2. Transports assigned to trade duties. Okay, looks good. I have another fleet of ships at Tolliman. I'm waiting for these guys to improve their morale. Their moral. They have no chance to revolt thanks to the brigade. So I think the next planet to invade is Gebal. I want to make sure though, do I have all of my troop ships and assault cruisers have the requisite units inside them? And I believe I do. So I'm going to head over now to Gebal. Gebal has quite a large destroyer fleet in defense, as well as a couple of cruisers, but I should be able to take this on without too much of an issue, although there are more scouts and stuff like that coming back. So we'll have to try and see what we can do about that. Right, let's go ahead into the next turn. Construction of a market has been completed at Gaia. So let me go in here and have a look at Gaia. Gaia has quite a bit of production. I may even consider going full production in here, but I might not do that. That's sort of a, you know, this is sort of a thing that I can consider. I'm not sure I'm ready for that. Oh, you know what I might do, actually? I might take some of these Fiddy, and I might transport them. So these Fiddy are upset with me, but these ones are not so upset with me. It looks like they assimilated. You could see here. The Fiddy colonists, these guys produce nothing, and these guys actually do produce something. So I'll probably be moving some of these guys over to Gaia. In fact, I might go ahead and do that now. If I grab a Fiddy, and then if I go, is it in, where was the Gaia world? Was it in Denebula? Till? Here it is, it's in Till. Oh my god, and that would give me plus 15 pop cap if I get that person over there. That's great. Plenty of room for that population to grow. That's crazy. This planet is going to have so many people in it. I think it's because the reef, right? Yeah, the Fiddy are populating the reef part of the planet. Construction completed Gaia. Our next project will be assault cruisers. Excellent. A farm has been completed at Sargas. So let me have a little bit of a look here. What is your... You have a high fertility, so that does make sense to be building farms. My question is, do I want to completely specialize you in farms and instead forego the market? And I think I will. I think it is time now for me. I'm going to be using the Orthan as my farmers, even though they're good at science, but they're going to be used as my farmers. So I'm going to, because this planet has a high fertility, I'm going to again continue to build farms here. And the reason for this is so that I can go through my planet list here and start to cut out some of the farms. Like, for example, this farm here is no longer necessary because I have a surplus in my empire. And I could get, for example, another mine, or I could get another farm. Another factory probably wouldn't help me too much, although I could support another factory here. Which would make this planet a very good production center. And it already is a very good production center, but it would be even better. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to kill the farm here. And then I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, build a factory. And then go back to building transports. Now, of course, I do need to be careful because centralizing my farms does make me more vulnerable to certain things. So this planet has 2 factories. I could again get another factory here. Let me have a look at the population limit. This planet wouldn't be able to properly support a factory. If I click here... So you can see for the first factory, okay, each working population only gives you about 1 production, right? But then it's 1.25 production per working population, and then it's about, I think the base is 15, and then you need 1 person to work it. So, but eventually I think it goes to like nearly 3 per person or 2 per person when you get to the end tier factory. So I do think it could be worthwhile to scrap this farm here. This farm is only worth, it is only worth 6 food, and I have more farms coming out. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to scrap that farm. I'm going to stick down a new factory. And then I'll cancel this queue, and then I'll give it a new queue later on. I completed a farm at Sargus. I completed a lab at Avior, so let me have a look here. Okay, I'll leave this planet the way it is until I have a bigger food surplus. Lab at Avior. Okay, so that was this planet. Now this planet is producing 108 science, and the population is now stable at just under 15 million. Very good. 15 billion, sorry. Okay, we completed the research, and we are still building labs here. Because this planet is just going to be generally producing for us. It's not a very good planet. I could specialize it. It has low fertility and normal minerals. I could specialize it in a different direction. That's definitely a possibility. We'll be going through our list. I think we've made it all the way to like we've done some of these top tier planets. We've reformatted them. Avior is probably my most scientifically specialized. But yeah, as I go down my list, I'll be able to go through and I'll be able to make changes to all these planets over time and make them better than what they are right now. Did I never settle Fargon? I guess I could settle Fargon too. It is airless, so that would mean I would want the REM. I'd have to think about that. So let me have a look. Right, my fleet is about to land here in Gibal. And they're retreating, so they're abandoning their 10 population colony on this hive world. Which is, you know... not exactly unexpected. So we're going to go into the next turn here. A Fiddy encounter. We found a scout. I'm going to go ahead. I will just auto combat this. This should be done without anything. So let's see here. They have 3 tanks, 5 militia, and 7 structures. Let's see. I could bombard them to bring their population and strength down because my chance to conquer is almost non-existent. I'm going to bombard them. We're eradicating a population right now. Alright, and then we're going to invade. We lost 1 tank brigade and we conquered the planet. So this is the battle that we fought. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to watch that. So we basically eradicated the population here. Now they're pretty upset with me because of that. I'm going to drop a tank down here to guard the planet. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to probably get started on some hover tanks here to replace the one I lost. I'm going to need 2, so I will purchase these to speed them up. I basically wiped this planet out, but it's gonna take a little bit of work. So the metro thing, I think everyone works on that just fine. Now the scavengers are an interesting race. I don't know what exactly is special about them. The scavengers are a mammalian humanoid species of unknown origin that spread throughout the industrialized worlds of the ancient Ashtar Empire, presumably as industrial workers. Modern descendants of these worker populations can be found in the ruins of ancient industrialized worlds, subsisting on the remnants of abandoned infrastructure. They are hardy and adaptable, able to survive in harsh climates as long as there's some pre-existing infrastructure to cling to. Although the scavengers are intelligent, dexterous, and adept at exploiting and repurposing existing items and technologies, they have become savage and brutish and seem to lack the creativity to see beyond their ruined worlds or create anything more advanced than a scavenging gang-like society. When their worlds are discovered and recolonized by more advanced cultures, the scavengers often resist integration, existing at the margins of these new societies, forming semi-criminal underworlds in the Badlands or the depths of the industrial sewers. So they're basically like rat people. So they're unruly. These colonies are particularly likely to revolt against authority. In case of rebellion, they will always fight against any loyal forces. They're criminal. Populations with this trait have a chance of triggering the crime scene. So they're literally criminal rats. They have a very high growth weight. I probably won't be spreading these guys around my empire because I don't like the idea of spreading unruly criminal rats about the human empire. Let's see here. Right, transports have arrived at Toliman. So we just landed a bunch of our people here to hopefully make friends with the very nice Fiddy, who we are suppressing with our tanks. So what is actually special about this world? I'm curious now. If I go into Fiddy, it has a high fertility, it has normal minerals, it's fairly cold and stuff like that. It looks okay. It's arid, so I think Tinkers work quite well here, as well as Metro. Anyway, I want to get into terraforming, so I'm hoping I'll be able to get into that at some point soon. Let's have a look here. Transport arrives here. Okay, so I've already dealt with that. Let me go ahead and close that. I've also got a victorious ship battle. I'm going to wait for this ship to land, and then I will probably continue the crusade. It looks like they have a planet over here, which would mean I can reach that. I think... Do I have a scout in here? I'm going to take this destroyer, and I'm going to send it over there to do a scouting mission. Our ships were victorious at Gabal 3. Yep, that's to be expected. And civilian transports have landed on Toliman 2. I think I already dealt with that. So I have another transport over here. I'm going to put it up into my trade fleet, and that'll increase my income and the ability for me to transport food around my empire. I'm going to go into the next turn. Okay, our researchers have discovered improved solar panels, which is really good because it means all of my space stations now have plus 100 power, which means they're a little bit easier to build. If I go in here, I can show you that. It's in here on my space station. That's this part of the thing, so I need a less advanced nuclear reactor. I guess I could like auto design. They get deflector screens. Oh, actually, that's what that means. That means that these space stations, they can now take stuff like perhaps deflector screens on them instead of a power plant. Oh, very cool. I will save that. That seems reasonable. And even my starbase now has a much more robust defense network. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to approve that starbase. Oh goodness. So we discovered improved solar panels. Let me have a look. What do I want to get next? I think I could go through and do some of these things, but I'm really interested in like atmospheric engineering. I want to play around with that, but I'm going to go for, yeah, I think ion beams is perfectly reasonable. Militia is perfectly reasonable as well. Subspace communications increases the command range, warp harmonics, scanning range, fusion warheads, advanced turbo lasers, auto repair systems, and battle mechs. So I'm getting a bunch of like military technologies, which is totally fine. So I'm happy with that science thing. We completed a lab at Sargas 2. The question is that the only lab we're going to get? We could populate 3 labs here, and we are getting 3 labs, a factory and a market. That's seems reasonable for now. We'll have to come back to this planet when we have more things to do. We completed the hover tanks at Gabal. I will be building another set of hover tanks because I want to load them up into my offensive fleet. They have a very large fleet of destroyers. So I'm going to go ahead here and go into the next turn. Our researchers have discovered ion beams. Okay, so ion beams are quite a bit better. Let's go ahead and have a look here. Does the auto builder think that those are better? Can I even put ion cannons in here? I could. What if I were to say, hey, balanced? I could put ion cannons in here. I think that would be expensive though. But I want my destroyers to be escorts, so they're just going to carry defense lasers. I mean, I could put the ion cannon in them. And that would actually make them a lot cheaper. Oh, these defense lasers. Oh, it's all these modifications that are making the defense lasers expensive. But I think this gives it quite a good attack. Whereas if I were to put the ion cannon in, I think I prefer this being like escort because it's expensive, but it does a good job of protecting my other ships from light fighters and stuff like that. The scout is fine. Let's have a look at the light cruiser. I think I was tempted to keep this as an escort as well, and I think I'm going to keep this as an escort as well. This is kind of like a bigger version of the destroyer to keep small ships away. Now the missile cruiser is definitely going to be a siege vehicle with missiles, yes. Okay, that's perfectly fine. I don't see any need to change any of this stuff. I mean, I could possibly slot in different stuff here on these missile things. Like if I were to go, hey, balanced. Like that's what this would do. But I like the idea of my ships being hyper specialized. Like I could do an escort role here with nuclear anti-missiles, but I like the idea of my stuff being like hyper punching towards a specific goal here. I mean, I could slot in maybe like one of these things, but yeah. Now the assault cruiser, this is one I think I have to design myself, right? Because if I do this, yeah, if I have to back out here and I have to look at the assault cruiser because I want to keep the assault shuttles here, and I think the turbo lasers are fine. Like if I go balanced here, it'll take out the assault things. But I want them to be assault shuttles. So I'll leave that the way it is. 2 turbo lasers, a defense laser. All that good stuff looks just fine to me. I mean, I could play around with some of these weapons, but I don't think I need to. I don't think I'm at that level. If I was playing on a higher difficulty, I wouldn't be relying on the auto builder. Now, my problem here is I would like this to be siege, but I don't like the idea of having this many missiles. I like my things to be a little more balanced. Has a few defense lasers. And then mostly turbo lasers with bonus modules. Plus, I think humans are kind of attuned for laser weaponry. Now, the outpost transport, I mean, I guess I could auto-design this and make a fusion reactor and stuff like that. That's fine. The troop ship, I will auto-design this. Okay, great. Has an armor brigade. And then the regular transport, I will auto-design this, but I will replace the cargo pods again. Oh! And then I want to go into my colony ship. I want to auto-design it, and I'll save it just for the sake of it. Just for the sake of it. And there you have it. Looking good. So I have my new technology here. That was ion beam. So I went through and I updated. I didn't need to update anything. I'm going to auto-combat this again because I don't care. I lost nothing and I killed one thing. Okay, what is this coming in? Oh, that's a colony ship with a lot of troop ships. I want to wait for reinforcements. I have some ships coming in here. There's 2 assault cruisers, a missile cruiser, and 2 missile cruisers. I'll send those over to Gabal. Construction completed. Denebula. Okay, I'm building labs there. I won a battle. I have built even more hover tanks. And I think, yep, I have fully filled up all my transport ships again. So this planet needs orders. I'm probably, let's see, I could make this like an incredibly useful world because it has such a huge population. What would I do with it? I could make like the science world of dreams. If I were to make like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could easily fit seven labs in here. I'll make 2 factories to start out with. It'll take a long time for these to finish this though, because these guys do not produce a whole lot of anything. Okay, so we just completed an assault cruiser at Gaia. I'm going to take this assault cruiser and send it over to Gabal. I also have a scout here, and I'm going to scout... Can't quite scout some of these things, but I do want to scout that. It'll take a lot of turns for them to get there, but it'll be fine. Okay, Gaia. You've a lot of production, so you're pretty good at that. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to say you're going to want to be making me some different things. I'm thinking I would like you to produce assault cruisers with a light cruiser and 2 destroyers, and then just repeat that queue of things. And then this will kind of just be giving me a constant stream of ships that I can use not only to fight, but I can also use them to invade planets. So that's what you're going to do for basically the rest of the game. Well, I say the rest of the game. So a mine has been completed at Bade, and that's fine. And we're about to get more food from a farm somewhere. Maybe Sargus. I guess it's because we don't have the population to work the farm, right? If I were to... Yeah, see, it's not... I don't have the population to work the farms yet. So my food will go up over time. I'm going to call that the end of this episode, though. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. Please remember to subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Remember to leave a like if you want to directly support my channel. And remember to leave a comment if you want to give me your feedback. Other than that, I want to say I love you all very much. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.